With us, Western Guilford coach Chris Causey. Big game coming up this week to start the regular season. A lot of work's already been done, but a lot of excitement, I'm sure, with the new season kicking in.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at this time of year, I think it's one of the best times of the year. You know, everybody's undefeated at this time. You're kind of filling out where you're at. You've been, hitting your own color jersey, and so it's going to be nice to get started and kind of see where we're at. We got a tough opponent in Northeast Guilford. They're always good. Coach Persley does a great job over there, so we know it's going to be a test with what they do offensively. They look good at the Jamboree, so we've got our hands full, but hopefully we'll go out and play well.
Was there a tendency maybe to glance over at them a little bit during your Jamboree scrimmage, see what they were up to?
I think not as much when we were scrimmaging, but when we weren't scrimmaging, we definitely watched them in person. And obviously we exchange films. We've got film on them, but it's different when you see them in person. You get a chance to see really, how fast some of their guys are when you're standing down there around them, and how big some of them are and how they move and that kind of thing. But, I looked at them a little bit when we weren't going, but we're more focused on trying to correct things that we're doing rather than worrying about opponents at this point. We want to just try to execute and play sound football ourselves.
Watching them play a little bit last Friday, very quick team as always, very quick.
Absolutely, they're dangerous. They've got 4 or 5 guys that when they get their hands on the ball, they can definitely go to the house. And the quarterback looked very athletic and looked like he had really mastered that offense, and so they had some weapons out in the perimeter, some length at receiver there, and so they're a scary team. They're very scary. They're very athletic, and just with what they do and how well they're coached, you just know that you're going to be tested.
I guarantee it's going to be a lot of things too as far as contain goes, that outside, because it looks like you get around that edge, around that corner pretty quick.
Absolutely. They hurt us last year with that. They get on the edge quick, and it's hard to reproduce it in practice. No matter how much you try, you can't do it as well as they do it. So, we've done as well as we could to try to reproduce what they're doing, but they do it so well. But we're definitely going to have to contain the perimeter.
Tell you one thing that's kind of crazy about that offense too, you see a few last-minute handoff releases, kind of like the old wishbone from back in the early 70s, that last-minute pitch, that last-minute toss. If they execute that correctly, that's also hard to stop.
It's tough. You got to play assignment football, and that's the tough thing. And they are. I mean, it's like a broken bone, like broken wishbone, and it's tough. You just got to play assignment football, and that's tough for high school players, because if they have success with the fullback, our quarterback guys that are assigned to quarterback, they're sticking their nose in there at the fullback, and then all of a sudden your pitch guys are going to quarterback and you've broken down. So you just got to be disciplined and just play your assignment. So it's still tough, though. There's an instinct to want, when you see that ball stuck in the belly of the fullback, to want to stick your nose in there, and we just got to be disciplined. And we've preached that, we've worked on it. So hopefully our guys on Friday night will just be sound and just do their job, play their position.
A lot of your offense over the years here, back many moons ago, a lot of other teams used to be just boom, hard, one clout, big hard pop offense. With them, it's like boom, boom, boom. You don't know when it's coming, those 3 different ways they can go.
Right, yeah, and they've got so many weapons, and they throw the football well as well, so off of that action. So there's just so much that they can do to hurt you, and you just got to be as sound as you can. I mean, I think fortunately, if you're going to play Northeast, you want to play them early, just because we've had an extra week or so to prepare for them rather than a normal week, and that's tough. It's hard. I know we've spent the last 3 weeks working, and you still can't get prepared completely for them, and we just got to hope there's some rust there with them too, because if they execute their offense the way they're capable, they're hard to stop, and they're athletic on defense too, so they fly after you.
Coach Chris Causey with us, Western Guilford. We talked about Northeast. What about your team? What's got you happy and excited and kind of motivated about your club this year?
Well, I think the first thing that's got me excited is just the type of kids we have. We have a lot of high-character kids that work really hard, and so you're coaching great young men. It makes it fun, so it's enjoyable. Offensively, I love where we're at. Reed Flippin is playing quarterback, and I tell you, he's really stepped in. Josh Thompson had started for us for 3 years, and so Reed Flippin stepped in and done a really nice job, and he's got a lot of perimeter people to get the ball to. Dorian Anderson and Keitish Edwards and Trey Miller and Ramon Ramsey and Kevin Gatsby. I could keep naming them. Jamal Rooks. We got Tevin Evans. We got a lot of skill guys that when the ball's in their hands, they're dangerous. So I'm excited about the way the decision making of Reed and our perimeter people, but I'm also excited with how athletic we are up front. You know, we lost a lot of guys up front.
Well, the Stagnon brothers moving out, that's quite a big load to replace.
Right,
there.
Absolutely. It kind of changes a little bit of what we're doing. You know, we're not going to be able to line up and just knock you off the ball. We're going to have to spread you and get rid of the ball quickly. But we've got a lot of athletic people. Andrew Schultz is a 4-year starter.
A lot of character in that young man.
There is no question. He's as fine a young man as I've been around, and so I feel real good about his leadership on our team as a whole, but also up front. So I think that we're gonna be, you know, a very aggressive offensive team. I think you'll see a fast-paced game. We're gonna play fast. The biggest thing with us is we've got to protect the football, and we also have to just execute. You know, we gotta. You know, sometimes we throw the ball out there. That's a sweep for us, and we got to treat it like that. It's got to be 100% of the time we can make that play. So, you know, offensively, I'm excited about some of the things we're capable of doing. We just got to protect the football and execute. Defensively, I think we're going to be very fast. You know, we play some guys both ways, but I think we're going to be very fast. Obviously, I think high school football all starts with stopping the run, and we're going to play a couple of really good running football teams here the first part of our schedule. So, you know, we're going to be tested there. So we just got to play assignment football, but I think we're pretty athletic, and hopefully we're in good shape that doesn't become fatigue, doesn't become an issue.
I tell you, I talked to some other coaches lately, and it may be kind of a changing trend. You probably wouldn't mind getting the ball first in a game like this. Get the ball and do something with it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, you know, obviously we feel good about where our offense is, but we feel good where our defense is. I think the biggest thing is we've normally kicked off just because, you know, especially early in the year, you know, if you're going to be nervous, I'd rather be nervous on defense because you're not handling the ball. So we haven't made our mind up what we would do, but, you know, I feel comfortable on either side of the ball. You know, obviously I don't like long drives by Northeast, and Coach Persley has done a great job. He can just take that ball and drive it down there and just keep it from you. It feels like you lose time there, but we haven't made a decision yet, but we feel good with where we're at, and hopefully we'll be able to get some stops, get some 3 and outs, get off the field, and get those offensive possessions that we want.
I guess those offensive possessions boil down, get the ball in the hands of the playmakers, I'm sure.
Absolutely. You know, our offense is, I'd say we're in a spread versus what they're doing, but it's very similar in the sense that they want to get the ball in their playmakers' hands, and we want to do the same thing in space. And so it's just a little different philosophy in how we're going to do it, but we both want to be in space with our playmakers with the ball.
And you mentioned high character men on this team. That's probably an important thing too, especially in a close game, maybe late in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, discipline's going to play a role. I think you know, I think the team that turns the ball over the least amount of time early in football games, I think the team that's penalized the least. So you just got to be disciplined. You know, last year we fell behind. We didn't have a scrimmage. The jamboree was rained out, and we didn't have a scrimmage, and we looked like we hadn't had a scrimmage that first half. And we fell down to them, and then we came back and made it competitive. But you know, this year you can't fall behind them. You can't get down a couple of scores because they can just eat clock up. But we definitely have to be disciplined, and I think you know, our character is good, and so I feel real good about that. I think another element we hadn't touched on is the kicking game. I mean, you don't get to work on the kicking game in the jamboree. You know, we don't kick off, we don't return kicks, we don't punt. We do a little bit of, you know, PAT, but that's a scary element right there, I think, for both Coach Persley and myself, is you don't really know where your kicking game is because you hadn't been tested other than in practice. So I think that's going to be a key element in a lot of these games Friday night is not turning the ball over in the kicking game and trying to make a big play, a big return, a block punt. Those things could be a difference maker when we get there Friday night. You
know, one thing we may not have mentioned who was a big playmaker for you last year as the season moved on was Trey Miller, I think it was.
Mm-hmm. I mentioned Trey a little bit earlier, and he's a playmaker. He's going to be
on offense and defense, isn't he?
Yes, sir. He can make plays on both sides of the ball, and we're going to try to. He's going to move around a lot, and so that's one of the things is most of our skill guys are interchangeable. So you know, you can see Trey all over the field. He'll be at tailback some, but he'll be out wide and obviously be on the defensive side. And he'll be very involved in our kicking game as well. So we want to get the ball in his hands. There's no question. It's just we're going to do it in a variety of ways. But he's definitely going to be a key guy for us this year.
Yeah, I remember last year, I think against Dudley, might have had a couple of picks against Dudley. Just had several big plays against Dudley here.
Yeah, he did. He breaks on the ball. He's got great hips at corner. And so he's got the ability to make plays on both sides of the ball, and he's worked really hard. So I feel really good where he's at. You know, I think another thing too for us, I know, and I think around as well, is there's not as much depth, and so with that, you know, injuries are keys. You got to stay healthy. And we've been dinged up a little bit already, and so we're nursing some injuries. But and I know Northeast is as well. But we got to stay healthy as possible. So hopefully we'll be blessed with good health.
I'm sure that first game is probably would get a guy healthy pretty quick too. If he can play, he's going to want to play Friday night.
Absolutely, absolutely. Anybody that's kind of dinged up that you might sit in the jamboree, you'd be more apt if he's ready to go. But it's a long year, and we're not. We kind of let our medical people tell us when guys are ready to go. And so if they're healthy, we're going to play them. If they're not, then they're going to sit. And so no matter how much they want to play.
Going back to Carolina right quick, back in the college days, talked to Coach Fritz yesterday. Were you and he together at Carolina back in those days?
We were. I was a little bit ahead of him.
How about Ethan Albright? Was he there too?
He was a little bit behind me.
Yeah. And those three guys together, three local guys, all had an impact there back in the day.
It was a great time to be there, and I still stay in touch. I think Ethan probably a year and a half ago. I see Ethan's brother Stuart, who played at Duke for Coach Spurrier at that time, and then of course I see Fritz all the time now. So I've seen a lot of guys. Eric Gash, I saw him. He's coaching up in Hendersonville, and he was a defensive end. Tommy Thigpen, who's coaching down at Auburn. We went down and for some of their spring last year. So there's a lot of Carolina people I'm able to still stay in touch with, a lot through just coaching, whether they're coaching at the college ranks or coaching in high school, or just being able to be around them. So it was fun to see those guys.
So another former Carolina man is going to get in this I think North Carolina High School Coaches Hall of Fame. Coach Henderson, still keep up with him any?
I do. I saw Coach Henderson, I guess a year before last. We went to a banquet together. Coach Henderson probably had as much an impact on me as far as a football coach as anybody. I couldn't be, the privilege of playing for him. You couldn't have asked for a better person to play for. I mean, the way that he shaped me, my character, some of the things I do as a coach, or most of the things I do as a coach, resemble things that he did when I was here. And so I was fortunate to come through at a very special time with him being here. And I don't think that anyone's more deserving than he is. And so, we're very excited about that.
I guess Coach Charlie Griffin carried on a lot of the same things Coach Henderson did too. He was probably wise not to try to stir things up too much when he took over.
Well, Coach Griffin, I got a chance to be an assistant for him for about 10 years, and then that was great. He's one of the brightest football minds that I had ever been around. He had coached in college and a lot of different places, and so being able to coach underneath him, having played for Coach Henderson, being able to coach for Coach Griffin, both of those guys, I think, just carried on the tradition here, and I'm trying to, in some way fill their shoes as far as trying to do things right and trying to be as successful as we can and do things the right way. But I learned so much from both of those men, and they both were special men here at Western Guilford.
Was it ever a time you said, I can't wait to one day I can take what I've learned from these guys and try it for myself? Was that kind of a time you reached, man, I'm glad to be here now as a head coach. I can run things and try to use some of the things those guys taught me?
Well, I think it's always a dream to come back to your high school and be the head coach. And so, I don't know at what point. I know that as a player here, I don't know that I thought about it a whole lot. I was playing, I wanted to play at the next level, and then I thought I was going to follow my dad's footsteps in pharmaceutical sales. But having the opportunity to coach, and then coming back here, Coach Griffin helped me get my job here, and helping to coach him. He allowed me to coach a lot of different areas. I came in as a defensive coach, and I love offense, and so he allowed me to coach on the offensive side. And as I started coaching and being able to coach, let me have the responsibility of being a head JV coach. I think I began to say, I'd really one day love to be the head coach here. So, I don't know at what point that started really. I started really thinking about it a whole lot, but I knew that this would be a dream job to be able to coach at your high school.
What about if you had Friday night comes up? What's one word you'd write up on the board prior to the game? You could emphasize one word on that board before the team heads out there for the big game, first game of the new season, a lot of impact, a lot of emphasis on this. What's the words you put up there?
I would probably say that maybe passion would be a word that I would put up there. We talk a lot about playing with passion. Play every play like it's your last play. Practice every day like it's your last play. We're not guaranteed anything in this world. We're not guaranteed tomorrow. And so, I talk a lot with our guys about, just cherishing the moment, but you want to play with passion. And, and tradition as well, because I think, there's a great tradition here. I was blessed to come into a place that has tradition. I know so many coaches, as they get started, they're trying to build tradition. I'm trying to maintain some of the tradition that, Coach Henderson and Coach Griffin obviously, laid the foundation.
Well, Coach, good luck Friday night. We'll look for that on that board, the word passion for Friday, and a little slash beside it for tradition. Keep up the good work. I know you've put a lot of work and effort into this. Get ready for the season. Good luck to you.
Thank you so much.